Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a good one. So today in this video we are going to be talking all about Ghostface. Essentially we are going to cover everything from the little bit of his backstory that we know, his perks, and all that good stuff, his power, and all of that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about with Ghostface is kind of his backstory and kind of how the licensing went with Ghostface and all that. So let's kind of just dig in here on this topic and just kind of really explain what has happened. So essentially Ghostface himself, yes, he is a licensed character, but from what we gather, they were able just to secure the licensing to use the mask, but everything else, from what I gather, is original, and to me, that is really cool. Now, I know it was a big bummer to a lot of people that were expecting actual Ghostface from the Scream franchise, and if I'm being honest, I was a little bummed out too, but the more and more I thought about it, I thought it was kind of cool, and here's the reason why. So they get to kind of make their own spin on Ghostface, and they kind of get to build the character that they want, essentially, instead of just how all like the licensing thing normally goes. You have to tell, the character a certain way, and they can kind of really dig in deep here and make Ghostface their own, unique killer. But enough of that, let's kind of dig into the backstory a little bit. So essentially, Ghostface is a madman and he is crazy as hell. So by day, he is a news reporter reporting on murders just in the local area, but by night, he is the one actually committing the murders. So yes, as you can tell, obviously Ghostface is a crazy person on the loose, and he is just a madman. But I thought it was kind of cool that they just kind of made him like this Jekyll and Hyde type character, where like he's he's a news reporter during the day, but during the night he's the one actually committing the crimes. I thought that was kind of a cool little take on him. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and hop into our second topic with Ghostface. Alright, so the second topic that is very important with Ghostface, and probably the most important thing that you all want to know, because I was obviously really excited to hear about it, and that is his power. And so essentially we're just going to run over it and just kind of explain what they said in the stream, and just kind of just explain it, because we don't know a crazy amount. Obviously number values change and all that, but let's go over it real quick. So his power is called Night Shroud. Now essentially what this does, he is pretty much silent. There's no terror radius whatsoever. His red stain is completely gone, and from what they said is he's going to be obviously very reliant on stealth. He's going to constantly be sneaking around the map as if he were a survivor, if that makes sense. Kind of like how you can with Amanda or Tier 1 Michael. He's all about stealth. He's going to provide a lot of jump scares, which I am a huge fan of. I think DBD really needed that. And also, the main thing with his ability, so essentially he stalks you or marks you, depending on how you want to word it. Either way is fine. It's the same type of concept, but if you stalk a survivor for 4 seconds, they then get the exposed status effect, and if you don't know what that is a one hit down. So all you got to do is stalk the person or the survivor for 4 seconds, and they get the exposed status effect for 20 seconds. And the way that they made it seem was that he can only stalk one survivor at a time, unlike how Michael is, where he can just stalk everyone. So I think this is going to bring a lot of jump scares. It's going to make DBD really scary again. It's going to kind of, I don't know. I'm just excited just to see how it really pans out, because the idea sounds amazing, and I've been preaching nonstop how Dead by Daylight had needed a killer just to really bring fear back into DBD, and I feel that they finally have done it. Now, the second thing I want to talk about as far as his ability is he has the ability to crouch kind of like Amanda, but he can also peek around corners, which if you've watched the leaked gameplay footage, he looks creepy as hell, and it's very unnerving. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about the jump scares in DBD and just making DBD really scary again. I think Ghostface is going to do that. He's going to make the jump scares, come back. He's going to bring fear back to DBD, and everything that they have said on the stream and just different things I've read online, he seems like he is going to be probably the most feared killer just because of his quiet terror radius and all that. Now, however, there is kind of a counter to him. Now, like I said, obviously all of this stuff can change, but essentially if you are in Night Shroud mode where you have no terror radius, survivors can counter you by looking at you for 1 second and you're canceled out of Night Shroud and you return to your normal killer abilities. Now, we don't know any stats as far as like his base terror radius or anything like that, but there is a counter to Night Shroud, and I think it's going to be fun for survivors and killers. Like I said, he's going to add a whole new element to the game. I'm excited to see what happens. Now, with that out of the way, let's go to our third topic. Alright, so the last thing that I want to talk about with Ghostface is his 3 unique perks. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. The first one is called I'm All Ears. So essentially, if the survivor does a fast action, for example, fast vaults into a locker or just fast vaults in general, their aura is revealed for 6 seconds. Now, I think that's going to be really cool just because it allows killers to make a much more educated guess on where they're going, and it's kind of like a nice little miniature tracking perk that's not part of like the quote-unquote meta. And it also, I think, is going to help with looping and all that stuff. Now let's go to his second perk. It is called Thrilling Tremors. So if you pick up a downed survivor or grab them off of a gen or interrupt them somehow where you grab them, the generators that are not being worked on are blocked, and the only downfall to that is there is a cooldown. And the other bad part is there was no number value given, so we don't know how many seconds it actually, blocks the generators. But that's going to be a new cool way to kind of slow down the game. I think it's going to be great. Now, for the last perk, the third perk, which is kind of my favorite perk out of all of his perks, it is called Furtive Chase. So it is an obsession-based perk, so each time you hook your obsession, you get a token. And here's the thing. While you're in chase, it reduces your terror radius by 4 meters. And the other cool part about it, which is another favorite of mine, is each time you hook your obsession, the person that comes to unhook them will then become the obsession. So you can literally just constantly, always chase your obsession and get those tokens to reduce that terror radius. And at least for me, whenever I play killer, I'm not going to complain about a small terror radius. Give me the smallest terror radius possible. I'm not complaining one bit. And also, the last thing that I kind of want to announce is the PTB is on June 4th, and then the chapter release is on June 18th. So if you're interested in the PTB, it is on June 4th, and then, like I was saying, the chapter release is on June 18th, and I'm excited for all of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making this like I always do. If you guys really enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time.